I love the second to the last shot in that intro. There's like a bunch of like dead goats lying in the desert that just died. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
get ready for a fun podcast. Here's some dead animals on the ground.
Yeah.
Hey, can you
There,
hear that fan noise in the background? Is that bothering you?
I have a fan. You're talking about mine or yours?
One, two. I don't know which one I'm hearing. Fuck it. We need the
Yeah, I
fans.
gotta have the fan. Yeah,
All right,
I'm
what's
not.
going on this week? It's show number 31, right, Dan?
Show number 31,
Dan's
and
pissed right now.
I'm pissed
Cranky.
because you know I grew up in Florida. I'm used to these storms. I know how these storms are. I know how to figure out.
Dan's
I,
talking about there's a storm coming into Florida.
so
It's
like
all over the news.
the weather media is now no better than the regular media in that it's all clickbait. Oh my god, oh, tropics are heating up. It's like it's like just how about deal in reality, right? How about you deal in reality? Okay, this is going to be category 1 at landfall. The way these storms work is that if you are coastal, you can be dealing with a lot of bad shit. And if you're within 100 miles, you might get some tropical storm force winds, right? So you're
Right.
looking at 30, 40 mile an hour tops.
It's nothing.
So, well, the thing that really makes me mental is everything is now geared towards sort of like cover your ass. It's overly, I don't even know what the word is. It's like safetyism, but it's extreme. Like there's a mandatory evacuation order in my county for people living in RVs. And you're going to say, well,
Oh,
Dan,
the evacuation is only for people living in RVs?
RVs, mobile homes. Yeah.
Can you,
So,
let me ask you this. Can you just stay in the, like, they're not going to have a police car come by your
no,
place and say, get out.
no. It's cover your ass. It's cover your ass.
Yeah.
And so it allows them to open shelters. I'm all for that. Open shelters. That's great for sure. But we are inland. Okay. I get it. If you're coastal and you're going to be looking at 180, 90, 100 mile an hour winds, I get it. We are inland. We are a county where people go to evacuate, right?
Yeah.
So, and again, look, I get it. I do get it. But this particular storm in my area, the forecast is 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. And then gusts, you might see gusts to 50, 55 tops.
And I was telling Dan, 25 mile an hour winds, for those that don't know, it's windy day.
It's windy. Yeah.
But it's not, I mean, I've been out at Wasteland staying in my tent, my monkey hut in 25 mile an hour winds. It's very windy, but it's certainly not the end of the world. I mean, really. I'm with you on this. I'm with you on this, buddy.
Yes. And again,
a rare agreement from Bruce.
Here's the other thing. In Florida, we routinely, as in like multiple times a month, get really bad thunderstorms. It's part of the deal here. Like, it's one of the reasons we have plentiful water. Bad thunderstorms. A bad thunderstorm will easily get you to 30, 50 mile an hour winds. And granted, it's over a short period of time. It's over an hour or two, whereas this storm's going to last all day. But still, like we have
monsoons out here that are like 25, 50 mile an hour gusts. And so same exact thing. When it's coming, and the guys like you and guys like me, and I grew up on the Jersey Shore where these fucking hurricanes would happen all the time. My dad, we didn't have evacuation things like that in the back in the day. You'll like this story. My drunken father growing up would, like a 5-year-old, 7-year-old Bruce, he would be like, there's a storm. We grew up on the shore, near the shore, right? And he was a boat captain. So he would say, Peggy, that's my mom, Peggy, there's a storm coming in. I'm going to take Junior down to the water. And she's like, is it really a good idea to take our young son down to the storm, down to the water? Yeah. And so I have history growing up, going down to the inlet to look at this water, look at the storm. And it was very fucking cool. And no, we never died. And yeah, I'm with you. It's like they're over abundance of caution. And you're right. I'm going to agree with you on this time.
All you have to do is give people all the information, give them all the information. And look, don't get me wrong, make shelters and stuff like that available for sure.
Yeah.
But this idea that because it's just, again, I don't want to try to minimize it. This is going to be a bad storm for a lot of people. It's going to be a Cat 1 at landfall. But this storm's going to be 100 miles from me. And again, we will see effects and a lot of rain. We'll see a lot of rain. But it's just, come on, stop.
But you know what?
Stop.
And it's if a person's okay, if a person wants to take that personal risk and say, you know what, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I'm going to stay in my home. Worst case scenario, their house flattens and they die. Does it affect anyone else? No,
No,
not really. They
no.
died. That was their choice. That's fine. It's kind of like the helmet law. I don't like the helmet law. I mean, if you want to ride your motorcycle and you fall and you smash your head like an eggplant all over the ground, then you die. That's on you, right? The only
Yeah.
way the only argument against it, I can think, well, then it gives trauma to the emergency workers and more for them to do. But that's kind of their job. So I don't know. I'm with you on this.
Like I said, just deal in reality is all I ask. Deal in reality. If you get, and the other thing is, when you tell people to evacuate at the drop of a hat, you make people less likely to listen to you if there's a real.
Well, it's a cry wolf situation. You know that old fairy tale, right? Cry wolf.
Of course, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're old enough to know cry wolf.
Yes, of course.
So Dan, I'm with you on that. Because I picked up the phone to Dan and ready to do the podcast, and he's crabby already because of this.
Yeah.
He was at the bagel place. He was crap. Of course, there's always drama. I don't think Dan can go to the bagel place without some sort of problem. Have you ever gone to the bagel place and just have to be a nice experience and you leave and you pay and it's fine? No.
Yeah.
Why do you go to the bagel place?
We only go once a week, tops.
You're going to the bagel place way more than once a week.
No, not since we moved. No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Though we do have a situation that was so egregiously bad that occurred to me this week, not at the bagel place, that it really does. This almost necessitated an emergency podcast because it was so bad. So
Dan, what are you talking about? We've never had an emergency podcast.
I know.
Why don't you explain to me?
When you see what I'm about to show you.
Yeah, but please, what is an emergency? What is
that's
that?
If something is so bad, something is so egregious.
It's Wednesday. You call me up and say we need to go on the air now, like
yes,
that.
Here it is.
Okay, let me look. So Dan puts up a picture again, another photo taken of a customer without their consent. Now this one's wild. I'm going to tell you what he put up a picture of, and I know just from looking at the picture, I'm furious. He's at a Dunkin Donuts. It's
Correct.
A picture taken. He's standing. There's a mom in line. Both moms' kids are on the fucking counter with their feet. One kid's got bare feet. The other kid's got sandals. Both children. One is about 6. One is about 5. They're on the fucking counter.
They're younger than that. I'm gonna go. Yeah, 5 and 3, something like that.
Dan, this is way unacceptable.
Yes, this is
really bad.
This is absolutely, completely, like, there should be consequences for this.
How did you not say anything? Like, at what point do you say something and be that guy? Like, so, I'm looking forward to that.
It's funny you say that because I've been asked that, and
yeah.
The problem,
because you have a lot of anger and a lot of energy, and you're taking photos, and you tell your friends, and you rant about it. Like,
well, look, this one there was no disagreement. Like, I've had one. Look, you and I are easily annoyed by children.
Yeah.
This was so bad that every single human being I showed this to was like, yeah, that's unacceptable.
Even actual moms with kids that will usually defend that, or be like, but why would the kids be on the fucking counter? Look at the employee. He's looking at the screen. He's trying to do his job. And there's a fucking kid on the counter, like 5 inches away from his face.
Look,
probably got snot running down her nose. Like this is no good, bro.
I'm aware that I don't have children, and you don't have children, and
dude.
I get a lot of blowback for shitting on bad parenting, and
yeah.
But this is so egregiously bad.
Egregious.
If you think it's okay to stick your barefoot, and again, this isn't an infant, and even then you wouldn't put the infant on the counter. But
I'm not putting
Both of these children can walk. They are both on the countertop at a food place. One in sandals, one barefoot. And this was so bad. Like I thought about it. I remember standing behind him thinking,
you're gonna say something.
The problem in that situation is there's no way to do that and not have it end poorly for me. Because
not have it end poorly. Well, like, what if you just be like, excuse me, man? Like,
no.
The problem is in this day and age, if you say something, being who you are and looking the way that you do, right?
Yeah,
you're a white man, and then so you say something to her, and it's warranted. She turns around, she busts out her phone, she starts taping you. I see these on TikTok, and then she goes, "This man is trying to tell me what to do," and
Correct.
it could
Correct.
swing in her favor, even though
And it would end up,
clearly
you
in the
know,
wrong.
would be like, this is little Asen, and he's special needs,
Right.
and
I'm
I'm giving him the stimulation he needs. You don't know what he needs. You're a childless man.
These kids are definitely. She's going to come around and say, ADHD, autistic, whatever. You don't know the struggles I have, and it's some sort of problem. Oh my God, dude! I'm with you on this. She let the kids. Did they? Let me ask you this: did they climb up there by themselves, or did she fucking help them up there? Did you see this, or you walk in?
She definitely put that second one down.
Oh my God, dude! So the little kid, the boy who's probably about 7 with the flip flops on stage
5,
left
6, there, yeah, something like that.
He fucking climbs up. And he's standing right. By the way, this is a counter where they put the food and slide it to the customer. Correct. So now whatever's on the bottom of his flip flops, dog shit, whatever, is now on the counter.
I struggle with this because I feel like the way in life to learn and to grow is to receive feedback for your behavior, right?
Yeah.
And like this woman needs feedback. She needs someone to tell her, lady, this is not acceptable in polite society. You cannot put your child on the counter, barefoot or with shoes, at a food establishment. You can't do
it. But there's probably so many things like this where she's doing this and going through life, and there's millions of people like you who see it, know that it's wrong, want to say something, but don't, because they know it's like, you know what, it's not worth it. It's going to end bad for me.
It's a landmine. There's like hopefully some hero somewhere in her life.
Right, some hero.
But I'm not willing to be that hero because.
All right, Dan, let me ask you this. So you see this, and then, okay. I'm sure you thought about it in your head later, or maybe in the shower the next day.
Well, I mean, and the other thing too is
what would you have said to this woman if you had been free, just like you fantasize? Like, what would you have said? Excuse me, like, go ahead, say it.
I can't, because you know why? I get so angry that I do not have the ability to just sort of be dispassionate. Like,
I see.
If I were able
to lose your temper, and right, you would just.
If I were able to do that, I would say, ma'am, it's really not cool to have your child, your barefoot / kid with shoes on a counter at a food establishment.
That was perfect. That was perfect. What you said right there is you okay.
Couldn't do it though. I'm angry.
Excuse me.
I'm angry.
So you would
no.
You would start raising. You'd be like, man, what the fuck? Would you be like, this is fucking crazy? What's on the bottom of his shoes? What's fucking wrong with you? Yeah. Right? Like you would lose it. In other words, right?
I just.
This is
one of those where it's so bad, like, and this is not like a matter of debate. This isn't like, well, Dan, you're being kind of hard on her, give her a break. There's not a reasonable human being.
No, there's no way. So what happened when she got her food and left, and you went up to that counter, and there you go. Like, how could you get your food on that? Did he hand you the donuts and not put it on the counter?
So luckily they ordered and moved to the side. I was there. I had done a mobile order, so mine was going to end up on that shelf near the kid with the shoes.
Yeah, but that's very close to his poo-covered flip-flops. I would have been annoyed. You were probably.
I was very annoyed, and then, like, the other thing is when I saw this woman, you can't see her face in the picture, but
I can pretty much picture.
You can tell that this is a woman who is not open to any criticism, commentary, discussion.
What's the tattoo on the back of her arm? Is it like a heartbeat? What is that?
Let's look. I don't know.
That you can always tell what's going on. Okay, what is
this? Is that?
Hold on. So it's a stick figure of a bean. It's very. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is, man.
No, I don't know what that
is. Eyeball? It looks like an eye looking through something.
Oh, okay. I know what it is. It's very crude. So it's like an anime character looking left. Is probably a Studio Ghibli thing. It's very crude. It's kind of a dog profile looking left. That's a big eyeball, and there's like a bug on his nose, and that's a eyelash on the top there. You don't see it?
No, I see a kidney bean.
Yeah, I know.
Another kidney bean.
It's a cartoon drawing of a dog looking left.
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
But it's
and a butterfly. It's got a butterfly on its nose.
Yeah. It's old too. She got that when she was younger. Well, you can tell this woman is just like, you can't. Oh my God. Yeah, she's going to turn around and be like, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
My child, little Asen, has sensory issues,
Yes.
and he needs to be on the like. You know what?
Yes.
If let me tell you this, I'm going to get a lot of hate. If your kid's got that much fucking sensory issues to where you got to cause chaos out in public, leave the kid at home in a box.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what to tell you. Like
yeah. I look, like I said, I really look. No one believes me when I say this, but I really do try to keep my mouth shut when it comes to parenting, people's parenting choices, because I don't have kids.
I know you do. In public, you do. You're not going to do what this is the Heeb and Goy show. You're not going to be keeping your mouth shut here.
This is not acceptable on any level. This woman probably should not have children. Probably should not have children.
So she gets in there. I got to explain the picture again. Dan's in line behind this lady is at the counter of Dunkin Donuts. There's some downtrodden employee who has to wear the stupid Dunkin Donuts outfit. He's got the headphones on. He's working. And this woman is staring at him, trying to place her order. She puts the kid on the counter right in front of the cash register type thing, right in front of the kid is staring at the dude.
The barefoot child
right
is literally 18 inches from the employee, right?
Right.
And the child with the shoes is probably 3 feet from him.
So the child with the sandals that have dog shit on the bottom of them,
correct.
Those dog shit covered sandals are probably about 5 inches away from the little station where they put the to-go orders.
Correct.
Then the little girl that's up there that's staring 18 inches away from this dude's face. I can just tell she's got like boogers running down her nose. Like she's one of these kids, right?
You know what was amazing too is that I watched this whole thing go down. The dude didn't care. Like if I were the employee, now I have license to say something, right?
Yeah, but here's okay. You say you would. This dude's checked out. Like this dude literally. You could walk in and set this place on fire, and he wouldn't. He would just be like, "Bro, I'm out." Like he's checked out. He doesn't give a fuck what goes on in there, and I get it. But yeah, if like you're there, you'd be like, "Man, you got to take your kid, put him down." You know what I mean? Take your kid, put him down. But like, yeah, I might have said something. I know myself. I might have said something. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean,
talk about too.
It was really something. I don't know how else to categorize it. It was just amazing. And I like I said, I mean, look, there have to be rules in society. There have to be a base level of behavior.
Well, and then here's the thing, like, and you see in places in public like this, like, you know, there's all kinds of signs everywhere that stores put up, like, don't be barefoot and come in here, blah, 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 blah. And there's a million signs in these different stores and establishments wherever you go. And they're just signs. And it's like, it's the most useless thing, signs, because a sign is ridiculous and a rule is ridiculous if it's not enforced. And it's never enforced. So companies and people are always, there's signs up everywhere. No parking, don't do this, don't do that. You know, no bare feet in the gym, whatever. No one listens to any signs anymore. They think it doesn't apply to them. I'm special. This woman is walking in here. She's like, you know what? My kid wants to be up on the counter. And it's probably like the kid's like, let me up on the counter. And if she says no, you know, the kid's going to be like, wah, and cause problems. So the mom's beaten down too. And she's just like, whatever, then get on the counter. So what's next? Can the kid say, Mom, I want to throw a donut at that man in a wheelchair across the hall? No, don't throw a donut at the man in the wheelchair. Go ahead, throw donuts at the man in the wheelchair you want. Like, just do whatever you want. Do whatever you want, kids, as long as it doesn't cause any extra grief for me. You're right. She shouldn't have kids. I'm pissed now. I'm pissed looking at this photo. I'm angry. She should take her flat ass, jumpsuit wearing, get her fucking rotten, dirty kids the fuck out of there, the Dunkin Donuts.
What would you have done? Would you have said something?
I would have said something. On hand to God, I would have said something. I would have started something. I mean, okay, here's how I would have. I can keep my cool, unlike you. I keep my cool. So I'm standing there, she does this, and so I wait. I'm looking at this, and I wait till she puts the kids down, and I would have said, like, ma'am, that's really not the most hygienic thing to be putting your child with the bare feet on the counter where people receive their food. I would have said it just like that. Now, of course, yes, there's the danger. Is it a good sentence?
It is, but you don't understand. I mean, this woman would not.
No. She would have started some problems with me. Okay, yes, I know this.
Absolutely.
But I know this. But my anger, I would have said it anyway. And then she would have been like, "How God, don't you tell me he's stimming? You know, he needs to be up there, whatever." And I would just be like, "It is what it is, ma'am. I said what I had to say. You go with God. I love saying "go with God" at the end of an argument because it's like, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
believe that either.
That's
But
good.
just there you go. So
Yeah,
I
see,
mean,
I don't have those skills. I
got
would come off.
skills.
I mean, I would come off like angry white man.
You
You
would
at
have.
least you have finesse. Like I don't know.
I don't. I don't know. Dan, I got a couple things I need to talk about too.
Yeah, no, I have to stop. I have to stop with her because
I know you're going to go
looking
in for
at
like an
that
hour.
picture makes me angry.
I know. I got angry. So Dan, this next thing I'm going to talk about, you're not going to like, because it has to do with you.
Okay.
And so but for the sake of the entertainment of the podcast, I have to say something, right?
Okay.
And this is a segment. This is a segment I like to call betrayal. Betrayal of trust. See this? Betrayal of trust. Broken.
I deserve
So Dan,
it.
okay. So Dan, it's funny though.
I deserve
is it okay? It's funny. Is it okay to talk about it? All right. So Dan, so Dan is a good friend of mine, and we've been doing a version of this podcast on text for like years before we start doing the podcast. We like to text one another, send photos to one another of stupid things, and mix it up and riff. We do this all the fucking time. So I found, so I had Dan's cell phone number. He has mine, and we both, this is what we do. And I send him things, and he sends me things that are pretty horrible that I would never share with the fucking podcast because things could be extremely bad. It's very private between me and Dan, things, right? Like things I wouldn't share on the podcast, but that are funny.
Yeah.
And so Dan sends me pictures. I send Dan pictures that are not safe for work, right? So I find an old drawing I made of something. Probably I made a T-shirt of something that's very offensive and very politically incorrect, of a drawing that I made. Probably don't you dare put it on screen.
No,
probably,
I'm not.
Probably about 15 years ago, and it's very, very sexist, very horrible drawing that I made. That's very funny, And I showed it to Dan. I texted him a picture. Radio audience, I must tell you, I don't know, it's not a radio audience. Dan's wife, Kara, texts me and says, "Oh my God, that's so funny," or something like that. And Dan, I got to tell you, the horror that came over I'm like, how did she see this? And instantly I'm like, is she privy to these texts that I'm sending Dan? I'm sending Dan the most horrible of horrible shit, and he's sending me the most horrible shit. So I was like, Dan. So then I told Kara, I'm like, it's funny, it's no big deal. But I'm like, Kara, did he show you that? And she's like, yeah, he showed me that. It is really funny. And so I'm like, okay, that's cool. And I get the two of you, share and communicate and all that. I think it's healthy and it's good. But meanwhile, I'm like, Dan, don't show her stuff that I sent on the fucking. What if I sent you? Because I have another friend that I send really horrible things to. I've got a friend who's 30 years old, and we've got a group of dudes who send each other nothing but pictures of our bowel movements. This is a whole text group. Dan, this is a whole text group of me and my male friends who, when we take a big, enormous dump, this is gross. We take a photo of it, and we text it to the group right around dinner time or in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. We do this thing. This has been going on for well over 10 years, and it's funny every time. Do I want the wife to see it? No. Do I want the world to know about it? No. But I just wanted to, Dan, and look, it's no big deal. It's funny. I'm glad that you and Kara have this great relationship where you clearly share everything. There's no secrets, right? You share everything with each other. And I think it's a sign of a very healthy relationship.
No. I wouldn't say that's completely accurate. I think this was a unique case in the sense that when you sent that, we were together, we were at a restaurant, like we often are. And yes. I thought this was particularly funny, so I really was laughing hard at it.
Yeah. And so you open up your phone and you're laughing, and she's sitting across the table from you thinking, what is he laughing at?
Right. And I knew that she would find that funny. So
it was funny because I gave Dan a really hard time about it. Right. I'm like, Dan, are you showing Kara my texts? What other horrible things? What else did you show her? You showed her the thing about the midget too, or like there was another.
No,
There's
okay,
another thing.
I mean, you're not wrong about this, but there have been plenty of things that you have said to me that I have not shared because it's really beyond that.
Well, there are things that you sent me that are beyond social norms on any level.
Yeah.
That no one that like I'm a good friend to have, right? Because here's the deal. I'm Irish and I will take things to my grave. I have no problem having secrets and things that have happened and I will never talk about it. Something could be wrong and I'll just take it to my grave. I'll live the rest of my life with it. I have no problem doing that. No problem. And it was just really funny. I just wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Betrayal of trust.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That particular thing was just really funny, and I'm like, I knew she would think it's funny.
You're forgiven. Look, I'm just teasing you about it. Look, you do it again. Wrong. I don't care. I'm really don't.
Well, you know what we do is we need to have like a code word or a category of something. That you do
there
not
could
want
be an
shared.
emoji. Okay, hold on.
Something you do not want shared. Like this is like level code 5.
Here's what we'll do. I have an idea. You know the emoji of the red siren?
Yep.
Okay. If I'll text you something, and the first thing will be a red siren. And when there's a red siren, the next thing that shows up means this is for yours eyes only.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I am bad. I have a big mouth. But if you say to me specifically, do not share this.
I'm just teasing. I thought it was really funny. Because I caught the humor in it all. I'm like, because it was an offensive drawing. And I'm like, is he showing Kara this horrible what she must think of me?
I don't think it's offensive. It's funny.
To some circles, I don't know. What do you have anything else to talk about? I have some other things to talk about. Like I didn't want to rush through your thing.
My world right now
is made up.
My world right now is texting people back who are asking me if I'm evacuating.
I'm nose blowing. Hold on, let me do some performative nose blowing.
You're doing performative nose blowing.
Okay. Go ahead. What's your world?
No, right now my world is replying to people on text who are asking me if I'm evacuating. That's what I'm doing today. You know. And
so who? Not government officials, but family and friends?
No, yeah. People like, oh, it's a hurricane. You're gonna die.
These are okay. So these are family and friends and people that you know that are going to follow the rules and evacuate if they say
no. This is the evacuation order is only for people in RVs, Bruce. So.
So people know you're in an RV. They know they're in the car. Like, hey, Dan, you better be safe and get out of there.
It goes with the old adage, Bruce. Don't tell people your problems because half people don't care and the other half are glad you have them, right? So I absolutely hate when people text me about a hurricane, and because on some weird level I feel like I don't have to deal with this. I live in Wichita.
No. You're 100% right. Yeah. There's a bit of a tone of condensation with this.
Condensation.
It looks like you better move, Dan, because we know you're in
condensation.
I mean, sorry. No, I did.
Condescension.
I said condensation. You're right. What's the word?
Condescension.
Condescending. Yeah, condescending, not condensation.
Condescension.
Yeah.
Condescension.
My weed-addled brain is just not what it used to be.
Today. It's okay.
Dan, it's never working.
Yeah.
It's never working. It's been 117 degrees yesterday. The air conditioner is on its last legs. It freezes over every fucking day, and I have to stop it and like recalibrate it every day, and you know, and because we know like we got to fix this thing, it's going to be 10 grand that we don't have. Or that's on our savings. I'd rather not take out, whatever.
But no, what you said is correct. Like I think people get a weird high out of like seeing there's going to be a natural disaster and knowing someone who lives nearby. And the reality is, most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, it doesn't apply to me hardly at all because I'm inland, and the way these storms work is the worst part of a hurricane. Kids, anyone out there who is interested in this, listen to me now. The worst part of a hurricane is, generally speaking, the storm
surge.
Storm surge that you get in coastal areas.
Yeah,
With a bad storm, you can get an 8 to 12 foot or more storm surge.
it's true.
That is devastating.
I lived on the shore and I saw this with my own eyes. It would flood the streets for 1 mile in. You couldn't get to your house.
Devastating.
Cars were
Now, look,
damaged.
Yes, the second worst thing is the winds. But when a storm hits land, the wind that you see reported on the news, oh, this has 80-mile-an-hour winds. It's really only right at the coast that you get that.
Right. The minute it hits land, it weakens.
And if you're inland, even if you're 5 miles inland, 10 miles inland, you're going to see much less than that.
Much less.
We are in the middle of the state. We're going to be 100 miles from where this thing hits. We will see a lot of rain. We will see winds. We might even see tropical storm force winds, and that means 40 miles an hour or more, right, for a minute at a time. Okay, again,
it's like I think the people, me and you, have an idea of what those numbers mean when they talk about mile-an-hour winds. All right.
Right.
I know from being out at Wasteland and being out in the desert, and I live in this little monkey hut, and I know like what certain numbers mean, how windy. So I know that like 10 miles an hour is like a sort of a breezy day. I know that 25 miles an hour, that's what most people call it's a pretty windy day out here. It's not life-ending. I know that gusts up to 50 miles an hour, that's a very windy day, right? You could, but here's the deal: you could still walk down the street.
It's not devastating. No. You're just going to knock your house
if
over.
There's a sidewalk outside and there's 50-mile-an-hour gusts, you could walk through it. It's not going to knock you off your feet.
Right.
It's not. Now we're talking 75, 80-mile-an-hour gusts. That might knock you down. Might. So it's going to take a lot. So when they say, "Oh, here comes the storm," it's going to be like 40 miles an hour. You're like, "Fucking, I don't give a fuck."
Again, and people don't understand the way they measure these storms is if it's 75 miles and up, it's a hurricane. But all that means is that a 75-mile-an-hour wind lasting 1 minute has been measured. That's all it means, lasting 1 minute, and that's only at the worst part of the storm. So if you're inland and you're not close to it, chances are you will see much, much, much less. Now, look, again, I'm not trying to be like, oh, it's nothing. No, these storms are serious. But I mean, the way it's looking right now, I'm looking at a fuck ton of rain. But where I live, you would love it. Where I live right now is high and dry. There's no flooding here.
I would love to set up my monkey hut on Dan's property right now.
I am flat. There's no flood. Right. You're not going to see flooding where I am. Where I lived before, my last house had a really low spot. You would get a big lake out front. Not here.
I would love it.
It is flat, 10 acres, rectangle, no trees too. No trees means no limbs falling onto shit. So that's good. Again, it sucks. I'm not happy about it, but it's just people just stop. Just stop.
Dan, I want to ask your advice on something.
Yes.
So, it has to do with bad human behavior and stuff that I often talk about the gym where I see bad human behavior at the gym. And something happened the other day, and I want to tell you about it. And I want you to be honest with me and say, hey, this one's called "Maybe I'm the Problem." Okay. So I often bitch about the gym and people's behavior like I'm some sort of, know-it-all on it. Like I'm some sort of pillar of the best human behavior. People listening to music loudly, different things at the gym that happen that you shouldn't do at the gym because there's a lot of etiquette that's involved at the gym. So, okay, I'm going to tell this story and you tell me whether I'm the problem or not, or what it is. Because I did a lot of thinking about this, and I wanted to know, and I kind of think that I should hold myself accountable, and maybe I was in the wrong. But here it goes. One of my pet peeves at the gym is when you use the gym, there's signs everywhere that say you got to wipe down the equipment after you use it. That's one of the rules, right? And it makes sense because a lot of these things have benches and like vinyl covered cushions. You're sweaty. You get on there, you do this thing. And when you get out, there's like a wet spot stain from you that you want to just get. They have these cleaning stations fucking everywhere. They're no more than 5 feet away. It's like a little paper towel and a little spritzer. And then you just wipe down the thing. It's super easy. And most people do it, but a lot of people don't. And I look and judge at the people that don't. Just like the same way someone would get up on the counter with their bare feet, give them a look of hate. if somebody's lifting weights and they leave a big wet sweat stain and they just get up and leave that sweat stain, I'm like, that guy's a scumbag, right? Are you with me so far?
Yes.
All right. So, okay. So I see a lot of this is going on. It starts to irritate me. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I can't deal with people anymore. I'm going at 3 a.m. Gym's open 24 hours. I can go at 3 a.m. if I want to. I figure if I go at 3 a.m, there's not going to be anyone there, and it's true for the most part. So 2 days ago, I go to the gym, 3 a.m, and there's me and like 3 people in there. I'm like, oh, this is fucking great, right? So I'm there. I'm doing my thing. So then half an hour goes by. I go to these other machines, and I see this woman walk in, kind of similar to the photo of the woman that you just showed with the kids. That kind of a woman. I'm going to say it. Like a white woman, probably older Gen X like me, maybe a boomer, whatever. She's got the fucking sour puss on her face. I know she's a problem. I'm going to judge a book by the cover. I am. Just like you do sometimes. So she just walks in, and I'm like, okay, here we go. This woman's going to be a problem. So there's this big section of all these different weird machines that do these little contraptions. And they all are those kind of things that have the vinyl cushions that you wipe down.
Right.
There must be about 50 of them. I don't know what half of them do. So I'm like, okay, at 3 a.m, maybe I will do a thing where I want to try them out. There's no one looking or judging or waiting to use this machine. I want to just, experiment, see what's going on. Now, I told you about how I feel about the wiping down of the equipment, and I am a Nazi about it, straight up.
Course,
I will use a piece of equipment, and I will wipe it down, and I will wipe it down good, always. And I'm not even sweating. Let's face it, I'm not working out that hard. I'm just sort of getting the heart going a little bit, right? But I wipe down the equipment every fucking time. In comes this woman. She's got a sourpuss. She's looking at me. She starts to use other machines really close to me, which tells me she probably wants to use some of these same machines. But it doesn't register at the moment. Half the story doesn't register until hours later. Listen to this, Dan. I can't wait to hear your opinion on this. So okay. So she's working out and I'm doing my thing. And then I sit down at this one machine and I just sit there to see what it's like. And I move a couple things and I try just doing something. And I'm like, I didn't like it. It hurt my wrist. Sat there. I was on this machine for no more than 5 seconds. I sat down, sort of moved something, thought it wasn't for me, got up and left. Now, I didn't wipe that machine down. And I thought to myself at that moment, I'm like, should I really wipe this machine down? I've only sat here for 5 seconds, whatever. But I made the call, and it was a conscious decision, like, no. And so then I got on the exercise bike. Right? So I'm working on the exercise bike, just pedaling away, and it's got this monitor in front of you, like the way the computer's in front of me right now.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking down, I'm playing on the phone. I look up, I sense that there's someone next to me, and it's this woman walked right past me, and I got the headphones on. I'm involved with the phone. She walks past me and gives me one of these. Right? There's no one in the gym. There's no one in the gym. Me and her and some guy working the front who just doesn't give a fuck. He's kind of like the Dunkin Donuts guy who's just checked out. I get it. So the woman starts flailing her arms, and I'm like, I wonder what was that all about? What did I do? Whatever. Then I look up at my screen. Here's the clincher. I look up at my screen. She took a bunch of paper towels, folded them nice, sprayed the cleaner all over them, and folded it right on the front of my screen and placed it there. I didn't see it because I was on my phone. So now the series of events that happened was, I was pedaling on my phone. She looked at me with such hate and reverence that she walked up, put a wet napkin thing on my thing to signal me, hey, asshole, clean up, and then flailed around and walked away.
I need a better description. I need a very accurate description.
All right, here we go.
All right, so first of all, let's start. Height. Give me the height.
All right. This woman is a white woman, about 5'7". She's probably 60 years old.
Okay. Oh, older. Okay, 65.
Oh, no, I mean, I'm 55, right. So she's 60 years old.
Weight.
She very kind of thin and sort of like hunched over a little bit, like bad posture, kind of hunched over. Kind of like a witch. She had like a witch big nose, you know what I mean? Just sort of like big and frilly brown hair with a horrible haircut that came down to here. Like But here's the deal. So she does that. So she does the thing with the arms. I see the napkin, then she walks away, and I don't even know what's going on at the point. Then she walks away to the other side of the gym. I don't see her. And I'm like, that's weird. And I don't even put anything together yet. I can't even figure out what's going on, right? But I stay calm. I just take the napkin and I go throw it away, continue my workout for another 5 minutes. She's gone. Like she went back to the part of the gym. So now, and I'm working right in the front by where the guy is. So now I got the headphones on. She walks up like she's getting ready to leave and she talks to the employee. I'm not listening. I got my headphones on. But I see her talking to the employee doing this, pointing at me. Like that. So now I'm like, oh shit, she's complaining to the employee about me. She's fucking pointing at me, right? I'm like, what the fuck happened? So she storms out of there. And at that point, I start to put 2 and 2 together about the rag, her freaking out, her pointing at me, and the fact that I just remembered, like, does this have something to do with I was on that machine and tried it for like 5 fucking seconds, right? And so I stopped my workout. I walked over and I checked out and I was cool with it. I'm like, hey man, what did that lady say? You know, and he was cool. He was like a 30-year-old black guy. He's like, man, she was just tripping about, something. And he was so checked out. He just said, man, she was just tripping about something. And I'm like, dude, she put like a wet napkin on my thing. What was that about? And he says, oh, she was bitching about the fact that you don't wipe down your machine after you leave, after you're done with it. She was bitching about you not wiping down the machine. And I go, I always wipe down the machine. He goes, I know. It ain't, don't trip, whatever. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I left and I drove around. I went to do errands and it started to think on me. I'm like, you know what? Even for 5 seconds, you got to wipe down the machine. Dan, I need your ruling on this. Because I think, quite frankly, maybe I'm the problem. And you know what? If I have such high moral judgment on others and what they should do, maybe if I should take that fucking laser focus and shoot it back at myself, right? I got to hold myself accountable and teachable. What's your ruling on this?
Well, first I have to say we're starting to get weather. I have satellite internet, so if I cut out, that's why.
Okay. Sorry, buddy.
So here's my thoughts, Bruce. I don't think you did anything wrong. I think you and I tend to be a magnet for those type of people.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's because you're bad or I'm bad. I just think I go out of my way, as we've discussed on this podcast a lot.
Yeah.
I go out of my way to stay off people's radar.
I do too.
I don't want to be bothered. I want to be invisible.
I was horrified when that dude said that to me. He goes, yeah, she was bitching about that.
Yeah.
I felt like I was a child that got yelled at by the principal.
I get it. I get it from your point of view because 99% of the time you're crazy about it. You wipe down the machines, and this one time you didn't because you were there for 3 seconds. Who cares? My thing would be here. I would see that woman and I would say to myself, yes, Dan, you didn't really sweat on this machine and you were only on it for 30 seconds, but this is you. And you're going to get the one fucking crazy bitch who shows up complaining. So go out of your way, wipe down the machine. Hell, wipe down any machine you walk by. How's that?
Right. Just start wiping down machines. Just like walk in there and start.
Shit, because I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to deal with people and bullshit. And that's why the lady with the kids we shared earlier makes me nuts. Because like for me, if that were me and I had children and I put them on the counter, I would have 17 people telling me I'm an asshole, which I am if I did that. Whereas this woman scaged through life, no biggie, it's all good, man. It's all good, bro.
But I was definitely like, if I look, I'm on a path to be a better person in life. I know you make fun of me for that, but it's true. So I definitely was like thinking about it like later. Because I was mad. My first reaction would be like, fuck that bitch. You know what I mean? Like that, But I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on? So if I'm her and I see some dude and I don't know that he's on for 5 seconds, maybe I just see him get off the machine, right? And I'm like, he was just on that. I didn't see him clean up. And she's judging the way I judge others. And like maybe. But then this woman was definitely a little. So I take accountability in that for sure. And I'm going to wipe down all the equipment no matter what I do from now on, right? That's fine. But I also had an epiphany. I'm like, this woman is mixing it up with strangers at 3 a.m, putting wet napkins on their fucking thing, like clearly ready to start some shit. Like, she's lucky I didn't see it. She's lucky I wasn't a different type of dude. At 3 a.m, a strange man, right? Like, why would she? So then I kind of figured, okay, maybe she's the problem because she's so fucking triggered by other human beings that she's got to go to the gym at 3 a.m, right? And I started thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, but Bruce, guess who else is at the gym at 3 a.m? You motherfucker.
Well, so, it just brings up a good point that there are certain people out there. and the great Lemmy Kilmister had a quote about this from Motorhead.
Yeah.
Something along the lines of, there are some people out there who are just waiting to be offended, dying to be offended. He goes, well, why shouldn't they be? I mean, and that's kind of where I am with it. There's certain people out there, they go through life looking to kind of control. I don't know if the word's control.
The modern term is outrage culture, right? You want to just I just want to be outraged.
They want. It's weird. Like they want to tell you what to do about stupid shit that doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be one thing, Bruce, if you lit up a cigarette in there, right?
Or I've seen a guy fucking vaping in there.
Vaping, that's his water vapor, right? Like,
dude, no, it's chemicals. It smells like cotton candy. I don't know what's going on. It's.
My point is there are certain things you could have done in that gym where any reasonable person would say, "Hey, man," like the woman with the kids that I showed earlier. Like, that behavior, I do not. So here's the difference between you and me and her, right? You and I get annoyed by shit, and we think to ourselves, "Boy, that person's a douche." But in the grand scheme, we're not looking to assert our will over people.
Right.
We're really not. We want to be off radar. We certainly get annoyed. I'll get annoyed for sure.
But I like to be a little annoyed, but we're not going to mix it up.
I'm really not looking to control anyone's behavior. If you're going to do bad shit, I'm just going to avoid.
If it doesn't affect me, I don't give a fuck. Really, if it doesn't affect me,
even if it does affect me, I'm really trying to stay off. I just don't want to deal. Like that woman earlier that I talked about, I was annoyed and all this, but in the end, if I had my way, if I had known, if I had magic powers, and someone said to me, Dan, you're going to go pick up your drink, and there's a woman in there with 2 kids who are going to be on the counter barefoot. You know what I would have done, Bruce?
I don't
want to go in there. Yeah, I would just wait for her to leave. I don't want to go in and yell at her. I don't want to go in and yell at her.
Avoid the situation.
I don't want to be around those people, right?
Yeah.
So
if someone told me like, "Hey, this woman's going to be in here. She's going to be a problem. She's going to work around you," I'm like, I'm going to go to the other side of the gym. I'm just going to I'm like you. I'm like, I just want to be away from her.
But there are
distance.
The problem is we have a subset of people in society who would like. If this woman had been told, there's a guy in there, he's a 50-something-year-old dude, slovenly, working out, and he's
slovenly. Thank you.
And he's not going to
slovenly. Slovenly.
And he's not.
Oh no! The guy, I knew this picture was coming up. I knew it.
And he's not going to wipe down his chair. You know what, Bruce? This woman would still go, and she would go. Not only that, she would go towards me like a magnet. What I've learned in the past few years as an adult is there's a certain subset of people out there that really do want to assert their will. They want the world to bend to their ways. It's not enough for them to just avoid people they don't want to be around. That's not enough. They want you to behave the way they think you should behave. Even if
but Dan, me and you want people to behave the way we want to behave.
But I wouldn't. But the difference is, I will complain about it and kvetch, and I will whine to you about it. But I will never go up to these people and say anything. And I don't want there to be. I don't want to interact or deal. Right. I would rather them behave.
You're never going to address that IRL.
I would rather them behave like an adult. But if they're not going to, I will complain. But I'm not gonna. I am not trying to
complain. We'll talk about it on the podcast.
I'm not trying, for lack of a better word, I'm not trying to legislate their behavior, right? Whereas this broad went to the authorities, the dude working there about you. Like, you would not. That's the thing, Bruce. Let's say you were there and there was some guy you wouldn't go to the guy working
Oh, dude,
there.
let me tell you
Never.
something.
Never.
When the guy, I've seen things at the gym. So what's the word? Egregious?
Yeah,
Like bad behavior?
Yeah.
I want to make, no, I'm sensitive about my words right now. I don't fuck it up. Don't correct me. But like I've seen things so fucking egregious at the gym. The dude vaping openly.
Right.
I've seen, and yeah, would I go to the front and be like to the employee, like, hey, there's a guy vaping down.
No, you wouldn't.
Like, and there's a couple reasons why I wouldn't do that. A lot of it has more, for me anyway, to do with solidarity with the worker. I know that the worker in there is just some minimum wage guy that's just trying to get through a shift. They don't pay him enough to be a fucking school babysitter and to do, behavioral conflicts between customers. The last thing I want to do is bother a customer about anything, bother an employee. But I've seen one really egregious behavior is I've seen dudes that are like me and a little bit older, and there'll be like some young hot girls working out at the gym, and they come and talk to them uninvited and try to, chat them up.
Yeah, no.
And I gotta tell you right now, in gym culture, it's the biggest. You just leave women the fuck alone, right? Mm-hmm. Especially there.
Yes, this is the most you can do is stare from 30 feet away.
Here's the deal: at a bar where social interaction with strangers is expected, you can go up to a girl and shoot your shot. You can. That's what it's for. But in a gym, and everybody knows this these days, put on your headphones, keep to yourself, and leave people the fuck alone. Don't chime in with little witty, And if you take off your headphones and you walk around in the gym, you'll notice it's silent in there. No one's talking.
Yeah,
because for the most part, that's good. People are tuned into their own thing.
But again, Bruce, if you saw this behavior, you would think to yourself, "Oh, that guy's a douche," right?
I've seen it. I've seen like a guy like, "Hey, what's going on?"
You're not trying to like tattletale on him or tell the authorities. This is my point, though, is that there's certain people. It's not enough for them to be annoyed. Like you and I will be annoyed. They have to like have something happen to you. This woman told the employee thinking he was going to say something.
And then I started thinking about this woman about like, okay, if she's going to come at 3 a.m. and there's 3 people in there and she's going to get annoyed at one of the 3 people there at 3 a.m, there's a reason why. Like, I'll go in the middle of the day. I go at all different times. I go when it's crowded. I don't give a fuck. But you can tell, like, she's so fucked up that she can't go when there's at any other time than 3 a.m, because if she's going to mix it up with a stranger at 3 a.m, there's going to be something else. I'm sure she goes through life and causes problems at the grocery store, whatever.
Yes. Yeah, I was just
what I mean? Like,
that. This
her life. Girl is a problem.
Yes, this is her life, and
it's her life.
What we've learned in the past few years after dealing with a lot of people like this, your Karen kind of people. It is. There's only one way to deal with them, and that is to tell them to fuck off. And that is basically, no, you are not going to get your way. Fuck off. You're not going to get your way, at least not in this manner, right? If you want to come to me and say, hey, I noticed you didn't wipe that, were you on it very long? Still kind of douchey. But
oh my God, I love regular communication like that. I mean, I would love that. If she said, hey, I noticed you got off this machine, it didn't wipe down the thing. And she said it in a nice, regular sort of tone, I would absolutely love that. I'd be like, oh my God, you're right. I sat down there for 5 minutes. I didn't wipe it down. It's funny because I thought I should wipe it down, but I thought it was only 5 minutes. I struggled with it. And I did. It's true. I got up and I made that decision.
That's the whole point, though, is that people like this, it's not enough. It's not enough that your behavior does what they want. They feel like the need to sort of impose their will. And like, look, as much as I complain about bad parenting, like we saw earlier, or people who blow their nose in a restaurant, as much as I will complain and I will say that's bad behavior, in the end, I would rather the bad behavior than me have to go fucking legislate or impose will. I don't want to impose my will. I don't want to impose my will on anyone. No. I don't. Now look, I'll judge you and I'll complain to Bruce about you.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Hey, got one more quick thing I want to talk about. So I'm super excited because a few hours from now, I'm going to load my drum set into the car drive down to a place called Cactus Jack's, which has a nice stage and a sound system and a sound guy and monitors and the whole thing. And I'm going to get on stage and play a full 3-hour set of music
Wow.
to a crowd of about 100 people.
Wow. That's
And
awesome.
it's, I mean, look, and so
Have you been rehearsing?
here's the thing. I practiced twice.
Wow.
Here's the thing with that. So I bought a drum set because I didn't even have a fucking drum set. To be clear, I'll tell everybody, it's a Grateful Dead cover band. They play Grateful Dead songs. So it's not originals, and therefore you don't really have to practice. Everyone in the band...
Don't you have to play with especially the bass player, the other guys? Kind of.
Not really, because if you know this, there's two things going for you. If the nature of the Grateful Dead music is improvisational to begin with, the whole nature of the whole set is improvisation.
Can I, real quick, there's nothing worse than a jam band. I'm sorry. Oh my God, this is you and I have to disagree on this one. Oh my God.
I'm going to sort of agree with you on this, but the songs have structure. They do.
Yeah.
But like I'm with you, like a straight up jam band where they're just going to meander and there's no structure to it. Like the good thing about the Grateful Dead, like you're going to say, okay, we're going to play a song called Scarlet Begonias. In the middle, it's got this one section where Jerry plays like a fucking lead and then it goes into a drum break. You don't know what that lead's going to be. You don't know how long it's going to be or what form it's going to take. And that's fine with me. Knowing that the change comes eventually and you're playing drums and you look at each other.
Well, that's different. It's like a guitar solo almost. You know?
Yeah. No. So it's fine. So
right. Yeah.
And look, I know a lot of people go, I have punk rock friends. I've got metalhead friends and drum and bass friends who'll be like, oh my God, you play drums with Grateful Dead band. And this is so corny. You know what I say to them? Fuck you. I'm allowed to like different kinds of music. Yeah. I am.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm getting ready to get on stage. And I'm this combination of like nervous and excited because I get to play drums on stage. And I'm clean and sober. I don't do drugs anymore. But Dan, when I tell you, you're a musician, it's the most intoxicating thing you can do to get on stage and just really, you've played in front of people before in a band, haven't you?
It's been a very long time, but yes, I have.
So the last time, so you know what I'm talking about. So the last time I was trying to figure out, when's the last time? Because I do these different concocted things. I play drums with the Banditos and like in the stands and different kind of things. This is being on a stage with a sound man that mics up your drum set, that you do a sound check, and all the other musicians on the stage in this particular instance are extremely talented dudes. Like I'm one of the youngest guys in the band at 55. These guys are like 60, 65 years old. They've seen the Grateful Dead back in 78. They've been playing for many, many decades. They know what the fuck they're doing. I'm a new guy, and I've been begging for a chance to do this like a Make-A-Wish the Foundation. I see this band every Sunday, and I'm like, hey, man, I play drums, It'd be cool if I can get up there. Another good thing is there's 2 drum sets. There's 2 drummers. So not all the pressure is on me. If I fuck up, the Grateful Dead has 2 drum sets, 2 drummers?
I did not know that.
They're like the Allman Band, the Allman Brothers Band. There's 2 drummers on stage who are playing together, right?
Why?
And so it sounds great because one guy does things that are a little bit different. Just like how you have a rhythm, Dan, you got a rhythm guitarist and a lead guitarist on stage.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Same thing, but with the drums.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
More layers. And it's fun to do because it's like you're looking at the other drummer and he's playing more of just a basic rhythm, and the other guy can do more fills and has a nice sort of layering thing to it, whatever. So I'm super excited. I'm getting ready to play. But like a couple things happened with this. I'm like, okay, I bought a drum. I got no money. I'm poor as fuck, slovenly, like you said. So like I bought this drum set, and the drum don't you put up that picture of me. So I put up the drums. So I get a drum set from Facebook Marketplace, and it's like a $200 drum set, which is a cymbal could cost $200.
Correct. Yeah.
But I managed to get a whole drum set and everything for $200. I'm like, wow. So I know what I'm doing. I fixed it up. I put it together. I took it apart. I put it back together again, like you would do with a guitar. You would know how to take out the. What do you call them? Inputs or whatever the fuck, and clean it up.
Pickups.
Pickups. Thank you. So I'm taking off lug nuts. I'm doing things. I'm changing skins. I'm tightening screws, whatever. And then I realized that, my snare stand kind of sucks. I need a snare stand. By the way, this is a snare stand. The stand that the snare is on. That's a very small snare. That's a bad snare stand, but I just want to show you the snare stand. So I need a new snare stand. I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do? So I'm on you know about Facebook Marketplace, right?
Of course, the wife subscribed to is in a group called Idiots of Facebook Marketplace where she sees all the good stuff.
They just clown the ridiculous delusional ads.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I love these where people think they're sitting on gold. It's the best.
Yeah.
So anyway, but what you probably do know about Facebook Marketplace is sometimes there are some less than desirable people selling things on Facebook Marketplace.
Sure.
So, and I know, just like you that know the values of guitars and stuff, some guy puts a picture of a drum stand on there, a premier heavy duty dropped. It means it can go down lower. It's an expensive, high quality drum stand. And he puts a picture of it and he goes, this thing is $30. I know at Guitar Center it's $100. And I'm looking at the pictures that he put up there, and I'm enlarging them on my phone. There's not a fucking scratch on this thing. The little rubber feet don't have any marks on this thing. I'm like, this thing's never fucking been used, right? And I'm like, this is sketchy. So the guy puts it up there for $30, and I'm thinking about going to get it, but I'm like, that's okay. I got a snare stand. It works already. Next day, the guy lowers the price to $15. That tells me all I need to know. This guy needs his drugs, right? This guy, all right, tells me all I need. And listen, I lived in San Francisco a long time, Philadelphia. I know the drill.
Yeah, I would never have even thought of that. Yeah.
Oh my God! Immediately, I know. I'm like, this guy stole this. Now he needs to sell it quick, and he needs to get that hit. Okay, I know this. So, but I am morally flexible. I really am, Dan. And so I called, I responded to the guy in Facebook Marketplace. He's about half an hour away. I'm like, sold. Is that a premier drop down drum thing? He's like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, it's for $15. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'll meet you in a couple hours. He goes, okay. He gives me the address. It's at a gas station. I'm like, love it. Right? It's great. And it's under the cover of night too. Like, meet me at 9 o'clock at the gas station. So I tell Ro, I'm like, by the way, this is my last address right here in case like I show up dead in the ditch. This is why, you know. So I'm there, and
she thinks look, you're Dan, insane, probably. She thinks
Dan, but here's the thing: you might make like maybe this guy's sketchy. Dan, I know that I'm a little sketchy. I really am, right? Yeah. A little bit. So, so like, I'm there, and I text the guy. I'm like, I'm here, and then he says, okay, I'm on my way. I'm 3 minutes away. In comes this blaring SUV that's beat up, that doesn't have a bumper, with all the windows down in Arizona. He's got no AC. He comes screeching in. He gets out. Guy's got missing teeth, like flat out. Right?
Meth.
I'm like, dude, I know exactly what's going on. He goes, hey, what's going on? Are you Bruce? I'm like, yeah. You got the stuff? And he's like, yeah, I got it right here, right? And I'm like, let me see it real quick. And he shows it to me. And now that I have this thing in my hand, I'm looking at it. It waves over me what this is. This is a porch pirate situation. This is absolutely, that's how he got it. He
stole this from somebody, yeah.
It's from Amazon, porch pirate. And Dan, it's so bad, it even still has the sticker with the barcode on it. It's got the QR code, the barcode sticker right on it. Not one scratch, not one scuff on the rubber parts where the drum goes, where it hits the ground. That is brand fucking new. But do I give a fuck? No. I'm looking at like a good deal. Someone's loss is my gain, right? So I'm like, okay, $15. I give him, I try it out. I give him the $15 and off he goes, right? Then he sees my Black Flag tattoo. Hey, Black Flag, it's good to see that. You know, I drummed for them back in the day. I used to drum for Henry. I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. I know everything there is to know about Black Flag, and some fucking toothless guy living in Gilbert, Arizona, never played with Henry Rollins or Black Flag. But that's fine, buddy. You do you. I'll take this fucking $15 drumstick. So then I get home, I show Ro, and she's like, wow. Now look, Ro hates me playing the drums. She hates the noise. It gives her a headache. If I tap on this a little bit, she doesn't like that, you know?
Wow.
But you know what she does love?
That electronic set like we talked about.
Yeah, but I decided to forgo that. I just got a regular.
This is what happened to you.
What's this?
Man, that drum stand is so hot, it's smoking.
Yeah.
You mean your fly stolen? Hot. You mean your fly stolen?
Yeah. I knew. Listen, Dan, I've been around the block. I knew with every fiber of my being that I'm dealing with a drug addict who put it on, and here, or an alcoholic, because as soon as I gave him the $15, He goes
Dude,
straight into the QT, which is a gas
QT.
station, which is, I'm sure, to get like cigarettes and a bottle of whiskey, whatever.
Do you know what that's from? Don't you remember this scene?
This is from Trading Places with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, that's Bo Diddley.
It is.
And
Bo
that watch
Diddley.
is so hot, it's smoking.
And you know what?
Hot.
And
You
Aretha
mean
Franklin is in that
Stone.
movie, right? She sings Respect as she's the waitress.
No, that's the Blues Brothers. No.
Oh, okay, different. Okay, but close.
$50. I'll give you $50. $50.
So anyway, Dan. But I was going to say, so Ro doesn't like me making the noise. It gives her a headache, and I get it. So you asked me whether I've played drums, if I practiced for this. So I bought this whole drum set. I've got cymbals, I've got snare drum, and I asked her, like, look, I respect it. She doesn't want me playing the drums in the house. It's super annoying. I get it, right? But she doesn't want to hear so much as a tappity tap. So I'm like, okay. So I know. So what she does is like she'll walk the dog at certain early, like down by the river, for like an hour on certain days of the week. And I saw myself as a window of opportunity. Like, if she's out of the house for a couple hours, I can set up in the living room and play these drums. Now, again, I don't want to affect everyone in the neighborhood and be this pain in the ass with this loud noise. So I set up the drum set and I covered everything with blankets and towels. Everything is covered with blankets and towels. And you can hit it and it really deadens it and whatever. So I practiced two or three times. I know the set list from the song. They told me, here's the songs we're going to play. It's like if you were an Iron Maiden cover band and they're like, we're going to open up with Run to the Hills, blah, blah, blah. And so then you put together a set list and you listen to it in your headphones and you play along with it. I'm ready. I don't
think I can name more than like 2 Grateful Dead songs.
You would name Truckin' and, whatever.
Oh, yeah, Truckin'. And then,
maybe Touch of Grey.
Tesla covered Truckin'. That's why I know that one.
Yeah. But
well, Touch of Grey was their one like MTV hit.
Yeah. But so it's really funny, and so so I was able to practice a couple times. What I was going to say is this: so Ro's not happy with the fact that I got a drum set in the living room set up.
Let me ask you a question.
What's that?
I sometimes accuse my significant other of this. I want to see if you can relate. Do you feel like sometimes that if something makes you happy, it annoys you?
Oh, jeez. If something what?
Makes you happy, that it annoys her automatically.
Well, no. Here's the thing, though.
Just the drumming?
But that is a thing, though. And that is something. That's a thing with married couples.
Yeah.
and people that have been in long-term relationships. Listen, there's many threads going on about how people. Have you seen the napping threads on Reddit and stuff like this, where like guys will write, how come when I work a hard day at work and I come home and I want to take a nap, the way that my wife looks at me when I'm lying down on the couch and I am happy and I'm lying down, she will look at me like, you know what? You're just lying there. Why don't you get up and fucking do something? Or like, I don't even play video games, but the way that, significant others like, you're really going to play video games? And you're right. There is a blowback for like,
I would think she would like the fact that you got back into drumming. I think
no, she is. Look, and the answer to that question is no. Ro likes it to see when she sees that I'm doing things that make me happy. Because if I'm happy outside, then I'm happy in the house, right? I mean, same thing with her. If she wants to go to Hawaii and hike in a volcano crater, I'm happy. I know that's going to make her happy. You know what I mean? Like whatever she wants to do. But anyway, I got to get to it's real quick to this one story. So I'm setting up in the drums. They're in the living room, and she leaves. She comes back, and I practice a couple times. And I know she doesn't like. Of course, she probably doesn't want me seen spending money on drum equipment. She knows I don't have any money coming in, so maybe that's not the best thing. But what she does love, Dan, she probably doesn't want me seeing spending money on shit. She certainly doesn't want to hear me playing drums in the living room. But you know what she likes is a fucking deal. She likes a fucking deal. She likes a bargain. She likes when you get a really good deal on something. And this does cross over into the world of drums. So I get home and I share the story about what had happened.
About meth head and
the meth head and this new drum stand, whatever. And she couldn't be more interested. She's like, really? So I show her the drum thing and she's like, it's like new. And she's like, wow, it doesn't have a scratch on it. And I'm like, yeah, it's for $15. She's like, $15? How much does that go new? We do this all the time. we get something for super cheap. We look up on the phone, on the Google. We want to know how much it costs to see how much that we saved. We do this all the time. And she goes, Bruce, that thing still has the barcode on it. I'm like, you're right. Let me try to scan it. So I get the iPhone. I scan the barcode on the fucking, there's no label on it. It's just a barcode that's on the drum stand. Sure enough, it pops up on Amazon. It pops up on Sam Ash, which is a music thing. And it shows that this is a $100 drum stand. And the picture of it comes up, and it's like, this is the exact thing that
he totally ripped that off. That's stolen.
It's a porch pirate.
Yeah, stolen.
I don't think that he stole it out of a store.
No, I agree. It's still stolen.
It's a porch pirate. Yeah. I mean, it still had the fucking. He didn't even take the tag off it, and I'm like, okay, yes, maybe that's a little bad karma, whatever. Like, you know what? No, I've had so many things fucking stolen: bicycles, music equipment. This is just karma. Things come and go. Things come. This is the universe giving back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was funny. Yeah. It was funny that I knew that, like, oh, this guy. When you see it on Facebook Marketplace, and it says on Marketplace, this was listed 12 hours ago for $30, and Facebook knows that you looked at it. Well, next time you log into Facebook the next day, it says, "Hey, motherfucker, guess what? We know that you looked at this yesterday, and now it's $15 cheaper." And that's how they get you. And I'm like, oh shit! I wasn't going to spend 30, but I'll spend 15. I'll fucking. So that's me getting a good deal. What do you think about that story? What do you think?
Impressed? I mean, I don't go near that shit. Like, it. Put it this way, like, since we've moved in here, I have upgraded to a lot of commercial, like, equipment for farms and lawns and stuff. And I have old.
You're not going to buy a farm equipment off of Facebook Marketplace.
No. But my old stuff that I had for my old property that was all good, it's fine. It's just not really appropriate for this property. It's worth money, but I don't want to deal with people. So I'm having, like, my handyman sell it on Facebook Marketplace. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I would sooner give it away than fucking deal with people. I mean, deal with a guy like Bruce showing up, you know. In comes Bruce, you know, in his Yaris with his tank top, you know.
Hey, what's going on here? Hey.
No, all my guitars are in storage. I sent you the video. I bought, like, a travel guitar, a little tiny one.
Yeah.
That I can play on.
That one.
Yeah, I mean, because it doesn't take up any room. It's tiny.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, it's kind of stupid, but, like, it's nice to have a guitar around. Like,
bro, it brings you joy. I seen that little thing, and it's fun. I like that you're a musician. There's one of the things I can relate to you about. This guy is a musician. He gets joy out of playing music, which is a very, notable sort of good thing, that you can get joy out of just playing music. I think that's musicians can relate to one another when it comes to that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go, because we're going to be in this thing almost a year. I wouldn't want to go to a year without having a guitar around that I can just, futz around on. It's just, there's something about, moving your fingers around, and I don't know. Yeah. And
so, like, I haven't played on drums. I figured it out. The last time I played drums with a band, it was I used to be in an old punk band called the Pagan Babies in the 80s. We played CBGBs with, punk rocks and all this. That was me when I was really young, in 80, 86, 80 to 89 or something like that. And so in 2007, there was a Pagan Babies reunion show in Philadelphia. I was living in Moab at the time, and that was really hard work because these were original songs. They were very fast. I was very old. I could barely play it. I mean, it was rough. And that's the last time I was on stage in any kind of a semi-professional manner.
Man, we gotta put together a Heeb and Goy little something. We gotta do it.
Oh, absolutely. What I want to do.
We need a bass player, though.
Well, no. Dude, we're like the White Stripes. You don't need fucking 3 people in a band anymore.
But I love a power trio. I love a power trio,
but there's you can put your guitar through pedals that play the guitar line and instantly another thing that's a bass line. Did you know that? You know that, right?
I do, but that's not. I'm old school, man.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, but, like, I don't know. Maybe Christina can play bass. It has to be someone heavily vetted.
Bass is a weird one too. They tend to be weird dudes, Yeah,
not as weird as the drums,
though. Different. I mean, yeah. I mean, I can play enough bass that if we wanted to record a song, I could lay down a bass
Oh
line.
yeah.
That's not hard.
And we might be able to do something where like you can use this social media. You can use many different video apps where it's like I'll play one. Heeb and good, Heeb and good.
Yeah.
We would like to welcome you.
Yeah.
I got a punk rock version. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do it because it'll make noise and bro won't like it.
Punk rock Heeb and goy.
I'm probably in trouble just for doing that.
Punk rock Heeb and goy. Yeah, we'll have to futz with that. Like last time I recorded anything, it was on a fucking cassette 4-track. So I'm behind the times.
Yeah.
But
I mean, wish me luck because I gotta fucking load up the drums.
Yeah, man.
Oh, you know what? You know what's funny though? I'm gonna fucking broadcast the whole 3-hour set in a Facebook Go Live tonight.
Ooh.
So I mean, it's set to public. It's going to be a Facebook Go Live. You can watch it. There'll be a lot of hate comments from my punk rock friends. A lot of hate comments from people that don't support me, that haven't grown in life. That's fine.
No, man, I think it's awesome. I will want to. I mean, my life is nuts for the next day because of the hurricane, but I'll definitely want to.
Yeah,
check it out.
Dan's living on the edge. He could be dead tomorrow, like whipped up,
It is just the hits keep coming, man. I mean, all I need to.
Hey, are you okay in that little trailer of yours?
I need to make it through one season. Once I make it through one season, we're in a house next year. We're fine, and I'll have a generator, the whole thing. But I just got one season. Just give me one fucking season. That's all I ask. Anyway,
you'll be fine. That fucking. I've seen this trailer. It
weighs 15,000 pounds.
And it's not 15,000 pounds. It's not going anywhere.
No, I mean it should be fine. It's just the annoyance of the text and are you gonna evacuate? Where are you gonna go?
You know, you should fucking during the height of it, you got to go and make video of yourself out in the big grass field that is your land, and just be like, "Here I am, Dan Richmond, out here braving the elements, out on my property. Fuck you."
Yeah. Now it'll be over in a day. The worst of it's gonna be tomorrow morning. So,
wow.
I'll keep you updated. I'll send you.
Yeah, I didn't even.
I'll get out there.
I didn't even know that it was. Because we get that same thing. It's monsoon season out here in the desert. We get those. Those are coming in soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like it. I like strong weather. Maybe it does come from my dad bringing me down to the shore when there was strong weather. I love it.
It's fine. I mean, it is what it is. It's more just the. And this is a new thing. It didn't used to be this way in the 80s, and no one gave a shit. Now it's like, oh my god, are you gonna leave? Where are you gonna go? It's like,
well, I mean, really, it's just like I say, it always comes down to capitalism. The fucking news companies want a fun story to run that's going to drum up attention, that's going to increase viewership. So if there's a big hype storm coming in, people are going to tune in to find out about the storm so they can see the commercials and they can sell more ads.
Yeah, it's all clickbait. It's just, again, all I'm looking for is the facts. Just give me the facts, man. That's it.
I mean, I often go to the weather app, like the like weather.com, I think has a nice app, and it just sort of lets you know, there's also a really good wind app there. There's little arrows and which way the wind is. If
you go to windy.com.
That's the one. It's fucking great. It's got the little arrows that's showing where the wind's going in real time and shit. I'm like, oh, I love windy app. Yeah. All right, brother. Well, listen, stay safe out there. Yeah. Be careful. Be sure to evacuate.
Yeah, I want to hear all about the show, man. I mean, definitely let me know.
I'll
talk to you tomorrow. If I survive this deadly storm, we will talk tomorrow.
And I'll be on Facebook Go Live tonight, and then I'll leave it up there so it'll be available for people to view. Not like they would want to, but I
want to see it.
I'm excited. I just I like to play music on stage. Like I said, I'm clean and sober. I don't do intoxicants anymore. But I will tell you, Dan, not to be too hippy-dippy about it, but to be on stage playing music with other guys who are really good, and there's like a vibe going on, whether it's metal or any kind of music, and you can feel it within your bones that this music is really working, brother, there's nothing better than that. There's nothing better. And it doesn't even matter that there's people out there. It helps. But if you're playing in a room practicing with people, and you get that feeling, it's really nice.
Well, the day music will come. Is super important. We will record. We will write an original Heeb and Goy song eventually.
Absolutely,
it'll happen. It'll be called ASIN. It'll be in 3 parts.
Just the ASINs.
The ace. So it'll be
Ason's choice.
It'll be like 2112, where we have like the overture, and then Asen on top of the counter and bare feet. Asen, anyway.
I can see the album cover. The album cover you already have. Put up the picture again of the kids on the feet. Like let's leave the audience with that.
It makes me so angry.
That's a bad photo, dude. That is just nuts, dude.
Yeah, I get so angry.
Let me ask you this. Yeah, so you would really lose your temper if you tried to say something, like you wouldn't be able to hold it in. And
I don't have a bedside manner, and like for me, if I said something to her, I would not be able to communicate it in a way where she wasn't within a millisecond on the defensive.
So I know you take these photos all the time, like incognito photos without people's consent, but it's fine. They're in public. It's not against the law.
I don't feel bad. This woman deserves anything that she gets.
But here's the thing. Could you make audio? In other words, I think you should start doing things for the podcast. I think you should start doing things for content for the podcast.
Oh, so basically pull the phone out, say you are now live.
No. I'm not saying that. That's going to escalate it. What I want you to do is take out your phone and put it on the audio recording app. Just audio recording. So it's down. You're holding the phone. It's recording audio, but it's down by your side. So she doesn't know. She knows that you're not recording her face, but it's just recording audio.
I am never.
Ma'am, I have to receive my donut on that counter where your child's
I'm never ever going to say anything.
You really think it's a good idea, ma'am? Really, both children are. I mean, that's being nice, but I could go Jersey about it.
Bruce, she doesn't give a single fuck.
Okay, here's me. Here's the other style. I go in there. I walk in and be like, "Oh, kids on the counter. What's going on here? What the fuck? Kids on the counter with the bare feet? What's wrong with you, lady?
Excuse me, sir. Do you have children?
I don't. Maybe I do. It doesn't matter. They're not here with me, and they're certainly not on the fucking counter.
Well, my son is neurodivergent and requires extra stimulation.
I don't give a fuck if he's a creature from the Black Lagoon. You get him off the fucking counter with his feet. I'm sure he stepped on that dog shit outside. Sir, Dunkin Donuts employee, are you happy about this? Sir, don't get me involved, man. Look, this guy shot me a look with his eyes. He's horrified at you. I'm horrified at you. Why don't you take your fucking two dirty-ass kids and get your fucking ass out of the store?
Look.
You, lady.
This is why I need you living near me, because I would sick you on this woman. But I do not want trouble.
So like it could be like where I just go around with Dan for the day, and we go to different various establishments and stuff, and Dan will be like, look at that. I'm like, let's go. Let's do it.
Go. Yeah.
I'm like, here we go. Let's go.
No, it makes me so angry. I mean, anyway, I got to calm down. All right, I'm going to go prepare for the storm. If I survive, I will.
Why don't you go get the sandbags ready and start filling your bathtub with water?
Yeah.
And,
I'm in an RV and there's no bathtub. You know what's funny about that is the RV has a water tank. So like I'm set.
It probably has well over 60 gallons of water in there.
Yeah, I'm good. And I have a generator, so I can power the RV for several hours if I have to.
This is going to be great.
No, it's not.
Where's Kara?
She's in the bedroom waiting for this to be over.
So, but like, is the storm like almost here?
It will hit tomorrow morning.
Oh, tomorrow morning.
Yeah, but it's slow moving
thing.
They're all slow moving. So right now it's probably by like Tampa. It's not.
Bro, out here they move fast, dude. Out here, like it'll be like, it's there in 5 minutes. Boom.
No, hurricanes only move like 15, 20 miles an hour, tops. I mean,
damn, dude. No. All right, listen. Wish me luck tonight.
Yeah, man.
And I wish you
excited.
luck.
I'm jealous. Believe me. Not only are you doing that, you don't have to deal with this shit, and you got better than me right now.
No, I'm not better than you.
No, I'm saying you have it better than me for sure.
No.
Dealing with this shit. Are you gonna stay? Are you gonna go? I'm gonna go to the shelter. Like, oh, shut up. Anyway.
You'll be fine. It's not but a little wind. It's a cry wolf situation again. Oh, you need to evacuate. No, I don't. Yeah. Every single area that has evacuation notices, that's what happens. They make an evacuation, 90% of the people leave, and then it's like nothing happened. So then they got to come back. And it's just nonsense. It's constantly. So it's like, eventually people are like, you know what? I'm not leaving. And then the person's going to say like, no, you really got to go this time. I'm like, that's what you said last time. I'm not going.
I am capable of assessing risk level. and
Yeah.
making a decision.
And like
I'm
I said
50.
before, worst case scenario, the only person that it affects is you. This whole thing is going to be different if your actions affect others negatively.
Sure. Right.
This doesn't. The worst, it's a helmet law. Worst thing that happens to you, the trailer flips over, you and Carrie get banged around a little bit. Does it involve anyone else? No. That's just your decision, and that's fine.
Yep.
There's nothing. I don't give a fuck.
All right, man.
All right, buddy.
We're out.
You're the best, Dan. You're the best.
You're the best. You know who's the best?
We are the best.
The best is this guy.
Yeah, that guy. The guy on the right.
Guy on the right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
This is a paid gig tonight, by the way. They're gonna pay me to play
Ooh.
drums.
Love
And
that.
here's the move. I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to turn it because I'm a guest drummer now. But I'm going to turn it down and be like, okay, I just want you to know that I can do this and do a good job because I really want to do a good job tonight. And in the future, there's enough Grateful Dead cover bands to where there is a circuit out here in Arizona where they just pick and choose they move different band members around, and they're good paying gigs. They got festivals and whatever. Eventually, so I'm going to get in the circuit. That's what I'm looking to do.
Love it. All right, man. Well, I'll talk to you tomorrow with the updates. Good luck tonight.
All right,
I will definitely watch. If not tonight, then tomorrow for sure.
Yeah. No, it'll be up there on the Facebook page for a while. Heeb and Goy Show, number 31 in the books.
Maybe we'll put it up as a Heeb and Goy on the channel. Put it up on the channel. You can get me the
video.
video.
Oh, wow, that's a good idea. Yeah.
You give me the video. I'll do it. Yeah.
All right, brother. Sounds good.
All right. See you guys.
All right, have a good one.